Hey, Dr. Nina, and welcome to You, Your Body, and Your Health. I am so glad you're here. I was drinking water before it came in. I kind of tried to get it out the camera. I'm so glad you're here for episode 10. Thank you so much. I cannot believe it's been 10 episodes. So I just decided for this episode, given that the holidays are coming up and everyone is emphasizing food and family and all this unwanted weight gain usually comes with it because we're hibernating, that this would be a good time to welcome you to my kitchen. And, we do the show from here. So as I've been doing the show, I've noticed that a lot of people had questions about meal prep, especially that the one show where I talked a lot about portion control and just different portions. It was one of the I think I talked about it in all the macronutrient shows, the carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. So what I wanted to do was instead of just telling you, this is this and this is this many and calories and this is how much you should be eating, blah, 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 I needed to do a whole meal prep episode. So I brought you into my kitchen. I'm actually working on two different cameras today, and I'm also looking at my computer today. So you might see me kind of rotating between different places, but no, my goal today is to give you the best possible experience and give you all the tips and tricks that you need for healthy. I don't even want to say healthy meal prep, but for meal prep that's easy, that's wholesome, and that's fun. And did I say easy? Because easy is the most important part. And so I really want to emphasize to you that this show will give you all the tools you need for meal prepping. And you'll see why I'm using meal prepping now, but we're going to switch that up in a bit. But this show will give you everything you need to know for meal prepping throughout the holiday season and beyond. Before I continue going on, let me ask you, where are you tuning in from? I am tuning in from me. I am tuning in from my kitchen in Georgia, in the Atlanta area. So tell me where you're tuning in from. Tell me what you want to learn today. Again, I said I get a lot of questions about meal prep. I really want to know the kind of stuff you want to know and what you want to get out of this show in terms of meal prep, because there's a big chance that I may answer your questions through here or be able to answer your questions more in real time as I multitask between my cutting board, my computer, and blah, blah, blah. So where are you tuning in from? Let me know as we jump into the meat of the topic. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. Now, I want to reiterate, as I always do, that this show is all about health span. And health span is the number of years within your lifespan that you are healthy. I want you to look at me because the Aging Successfully segment is going to talk about this as well. A lot of us, especially this time of year, we start overeating and we start hibernating and we gain weight. And then what we do is say, oh, forget it. I'll fix it in January. We fix it in January. Then March comes and we're ready to give up again, start gaining weight again. We pick it up for summer bodies. Then when we hibernate again, we start doing the whole cycle of overeating and hibernating and everything else again. Believe it or not, this is not healthy. This is not healthy. It's the yo-yo cycling, constantly gaining weight and losing and gaining weight and losing it. It's not healthy over time. That actually triggers more inflammation, honestly, than if you would have just done nothing at all, because you're constantly putting this extra stress on your body. And we know from previous episodes that stress can trigger inflammation. So I want you to remember that, because this is not just about learning to eat better. This is learning to view the way you view or change the way you view food. And I want you to remember that. And then the successful aging segment, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about ways to stop that yo-yo cycle for successful aging, to stop that constant cycle of weight gain and weight loss. And I really want to talk about this last thing I'm going to say before I get to food, because when we age, we can always improve our health span. I always say that, right? When we age, we can improve it at any time. We can change our eating habits at any time, but it gets harder as we age. You all know how difficult it is to change a habit. It gets more difficult as we age. So my goal for you is to take what I'm going to give to you today and apply it and use it and make your life easier as you get older. Now, that's it. That's all I have to say. All right. I need your comments, folks. I need you to tell me what you need help with as I move into the first topic. Portion size confusion. Portion size confusion. Who knows the difference between a portion and a serving? Because many people don't. Can someone tell me in a comments box the difference between a portion and a serving as I switch to my camera and I introduce my beautiful board, I want to know, what do you know about portions and servings? Introducing my little board, my little Band-Aid from doing housework. Don't worry about that. I'm going to talk to you about some of the most common portion size confusion, things that elicit portion size confusion. And I'll tell you why. Because most people unknowingly overeat because they don't understand what a portion is. We need to know what portion sizes are so that we can not overeat. Because overeating as a result of eating too many portions is what triggers weight gain, unwanted weight gain. And many people overeat unknowingly because they don't understand the difference between a portion and a recommended serving. So let me tell you this. This is a serving of pasta. This. All right? That's a serving of pasta. So remember in the carbohydrate episode when everyone was talking about, if you were here, if not, I definitely recommend you should go watch it. But remember everyone was talking about, oh, pasta causes weight gain and, we shouldn't eat carbs and all of that. How much are you eating? Remember I said that? I think I said that in the Q&A too. How much are you eating? Show them that again. How much pasta are you eating? This is a cup. This is a serving. How many servings based on this and this do you think you're eating at Olive Garden? I'm sorry, I'm not putting Olive Garden on blast. Any restaurant. How many do you think you're getting in? So is that the problem of pasta or that you're eating too much? Portion size confusion it's one of those things that you can honestly knock out calorie counting. You can knock out every single diet plan. You can knock out low carb eating plans and all that by just thinking, what is a portion? Am I getting too much? And you can probably look at what I showed you in the form of a pasta and say, dang, I'm eating about 4 or 5 servings of pasta every time I go to a restaurant or every time I eat pasta. Now, remember what I told you from the last show, carbohydrates, 3 to 5 servings, max is kind of where you want to be. And if you do that, you don't have to go on these extreme diet plans and count calories, 3 to 5 servings. But here's the kicker. It's not just the pasta. In that 3 to 5 servings is also beans, peas, breads, starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes too, winter squash. These things are all in those servings. So think about 3 to 5 servings. Now think about that pasta and everything else you possibly eat. Am I making sense to you? Tell me, am I making sense? Because I'm gonna look. What time of the day is best to eat pasta? As we go on to a couple more servings, I'm gonna answer that question too. That's a great question. I generally recommend eating pasta as you're in the middle part of the day. If you eat 3 meals, I'll tell you why. In the beginning of the day, you have the advantage of I'll stop for a second because I really want to answer this question. In the beginning of the day, early, you have the advantage of being able to burn more calories because your body is still in a fasted state before you eat. If you were to eat say, protein or fat source like avocado, your body will continue to kind of stay in fat burning mode. And if you think about that, that's why ketogenic diets and that sort of thing work, because they're so emphasized, fat and protein is emphasized. The minute you introduce a carb, your body is going to shift the fat burning and start burning the carbs you eat. That's what the body is going to do. So the minute you introduce one, that's what it's going to do. So there are two ways I should point this out. One, you want to eat carbs around the time midday where you're moving more, not at night when you're moving less. And if you work out, it's ideal to do that after a workout, because actually your workout will still be, your body will still be burning calories at a more rapid rate after a workout. So after a workout, if you work out, preferably midday, or when you're most active the day. I don't want to say a certain time of the day because a lot of people have different lifestyles. And if you're a nurse or something like that, your most active part of the day may be at night. So I hope that I answered that question. All right. And yes, that's right, Donald. Do not eat that pasta till you get full. Let's go to another portion size thing because this is moving fast and I knew it would. And I want to build you a bowl. I want to build you a salad so you can see. Now, this is a serving of nuts, right? That's something good for us. That's almonds. That's a serving of almonds. So do you see what I mean? This is a serving of pumpkin seeds. You see what I mean when I say that portion size confusion? This is a serving of a banana. You see how small this banana is? This is a small banana. It took me for a long time to find this size banana. You see how small it is relative to this? These are servings. Same thing with cereal. If you get cereal, it's about the same serving size as pasta. But how much of this are you eating? And that's what I want you to think about. Now, I want to emphasize something. That's right. No, per day, honey. 3 to 5 servings of carbs per day, not per week. That would be wrong. That would just be wrong. So I want to emphasize something here. Just because you're mindful of the portions, it doesn't mean that you can't double up. I have a confession to make. I eat 1 to 2 meals a day. I follow an intermittent fasting regimen. I've been eating this way personally for over 10 years. I eat 1 to 2 meals a day. My portions, I'm going to build you one of my meals so you can see what they look like. They're insane, but that's because I eat 1 to 2 meals a day. It doesn't matter when you eat, how much you eat, nothing like that. I'm going to talk about that more in a second. At the end of the day, what matters is that you're getting the nutrients that your body needs and you're meeting without overshooting what your body actually needs. And that's why these portion control tactics are so important. So again, if you want a bowl of pasta and you say, you know what, I realize that this is 2 servings, I shall eat 2 servings. That's fine. Just account for them. Don't say this is a serving of pasta because it's in this big pasta bowl. Say it is and go ahead and check that off your tally. I hope that makes sense, because if you do things like this, it takes away that whole need for calorie counting. Now let's move on. I got another point I want to make. Calorie problems. I've already talked about calorie problems a lot. A lot of us unknowingly overeat a lot of us unknowingly, we're malnutrition. We're actually going to talk about this in next week's episode. We're undernourished because we're focusing so much on calories that we don't get in nutrition. Put that camera down so I can show you what I mean. If I tell you that this is 200 calories, these are 200 calories, right? Would you believe me if I said that this was less calories? So 200 calories, less calories. Which one are you eating? This is more fun. This is what people usually go for. And I'm gonna tell you what a lot of people do. Calorie counters are saying, oh, I'm gonna eat this because it's less calories than this. Nutrition counters are saying, you know what? This is gonna give me a whole lot less than this is. So I'm gonna eat this. Do you see the point I'm making here? You see the point I'm making? The goal here is to make sure you're getting nutrients in your diet. That's the goal. Any questions about that? All right. So this is what I recommend. Let me stop. If calorie counting works for you, by all means, keep doing it. If counting nutrients work for you, by all means, keep doing, or excuse me, I should say counting carbs or that sort of thing. If that works for you, by all means do it. But if it doesn't, I really want you to consider what I'm talking about here. I really want you to consider it, because actually counting nutrients is much more effective. And counting nutrients is like counting colors. You want strong reds, strong greens. Let me see that. Let me show them. You want strong reds, strong yellows, strong oranges. This is nutrient counting. You see how colorful and beautiful these foods are? That's what you want in your diet. You want things that have a whole lot of color. And if you do that, if you focus on getting one color a day, so say I'm going to get a red, I'm going to do yellow, I'm going to get orange, I'm going to do purple, I'm going to get a green, which I'll grab for you in a minute. I'm going to get some fat. I'm going to get some more fat, because the difference is these are different kind of fats. If you focus on this kind of stuff, a little of this stuff, we're going to make a dressing. You really don't have to think about calories because you're focusing on nutrients. Color is our friend, Mary Jo. I agree with that. But I want you to understand me when I say this, because I'm going to grab something, a powerfully colored kale out of my fridge, a powerfully colored kale, to show you the importance of that green stuff. That green stuff, that green stuff is killer. It helps prevent diseases of all sorts. It promotes weight gain. This stuff has natural chemicals that rev up metabolism. So even if you're not counting calories, you're burning calories because you have all these colorful foods in your diet. That's right, Patsy, eat the rainbow. That's really what I was going to say in the end. Eat the rainbow. Focus on nutrition. Focus on making sure that every food you eat has a purpose. Nuts have a purpose. They're high in a good fat. Omega-3s, another thing. Excuse me, these are high in omega-3s. Chia seeds. Focus on the good stuff that does something for your body. Flax seeds. This is the kind of stuff that I think about. And after you've done all of that, once you've got that color in, you counted your colors, what is it? 3 to 5 servings of vegetables is what you hear. I generally eat 6 to 8 servings of veggies a day. Once you got all this good stuff in, there's little room left. And then you bring in the other stuff. Now, this is good stuff too. I want to include it. So that's some shrimp and some chicken, two of my favorite salad toppers. This stuff is good too. Now, would you believe me if I tell you that I'm going to throw most of this stuff in a salad and make it for you? Because again, if you focus on counting colors and the nutrients in those colors, everything else just kind of goes right from there. And another thing, it's also going to increase feelings of fullness and reduce cravings, because cravings and malnutrition, excuse me, I said that too fast. Malnutrition drives food cravings. So if you find yourself hungry all the time, know that it could be this too. I want to say that too, because I haven't said anything about water. Water actually does not have nutrients in it, but it's vital for every function in the body because the body is mostly water. And another thing with water is a lot of times when you're dehydrated, you think you're hungry. So that can lead to overeating as well. So dehydration has very similar signs. I had to digress real quick to tell you that. But again, focusing in on counting those colors, getting those nutrients in, that's where you need to be. And this is the kind of stuff we talk about at That Salad Lady. If you haven't visited thatsaladlady.com, or if you haven't followed That Salad Lady on social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, I kind of give it all to you there. And if you just look and see the kind of bowls we build at thatsaladlady.com, you'll see exactly what I mean. So let's build a bowl. Let me tell you, when I'm thinking, yes, absolutely. I'm sorry. Donald just made an excellent point. I have to bring it up. Yes, Donald. And it just so happens that I have a healthy living guide. This is a shameless plug, but kind of not a shameless plug. I have a healthy living guide that I'm putting together for Black Friday. And I am offering 50% off that guide. And in that guide, it actually has checklists. So all the stuff I just said, it's in a checklist. So you literally can put it on your fridge and just check off the nutrients. Excellent point. So glad you said that. And another thing that works really good about this, I want to tell you first, this is something that's child friendly. So if you have kids, this is something that can work for them and teach them nutrition. So I am going to continue to look out for your questions, and I'm going to show you much what counting nutrients would look like. So That Salad Lady, obviously I make salads, but I don't want you to think about a salad. It's just a salad. Salads are an opportunity. Salads are an opportunity to build layers. You got that all in there? I want to make sure you see it. Salads are opportunities to build layers and layers of whole food nutrition. And that is what That Salad Lady is all about. And that is what I'm explaining to you here. So watch this. This is a homemade vinaigrette dressing, olive oil, fresh garlic, mustard, grainy mustard, like a Grey Poupon, but it's not Grey Poupon, but it's a grainy mustard like that, and a little bit of honey and salt and pepper to taste. So I made that at home. That's another thing. When you're talking about few ingredients, every ingredient has a purpose, especially that garlic. I use a whole lot of garlic. Now let's count those. I got my oranges. There's a nutrient for you, right? Notice that I seasoned my kale first. The reason that this worked, and that's rub kale. I actually have a recipe coming out to teach you how to rub kale. If you hate kale, rub kale is great. So where am I? Orange and red. Throw some yellow in there. See that? This is actually tasty. Let's throw some crucifers in there. So broccoli and kale are special leafy greens because they're called crucifers. They're crucifers and they're leafy greens. And crucifers and leafy greens actually have cancer fighting effects. So throw the purples in there. Are you counting the colors with me? Because that is what this is all about. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of the fun stuff. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot. See how much is left? Because you don't get a bowl full of pasta and just eat the pasta. You'll eat too much. Now I also have something that I put in my little homemade bacon bits. I make these with turkey bacon. The recipe is at thatsaladlady.com. The recipe for this whole salad is at thatsaladlady.com. So if you are like, man, I really want to try that, go ahead and try it. It's at thatsaladlady.com just for you. Add a few more things in here. And I'm going to keep cooking as we move into our successful aging segment. I'm going to keep putting this together because I can multitask. So let's move in our successful aging segment. And I can close this up as you look. I want to explain something to you. I didn't learn how to cook like this or do things like this because of my degree. I do have a nutrition focused degree along with exercise science and rehabilitation, but that's not what taught me how to do this. I actually learned how to count nutrients, believe it or not, when I was 13 years old. My mom was diagnosed with diabetes and she had all these charts. This was before the internet and stuff. She had all these charts and stuff that talked about kind of the yes and no foods. And I was overweight at the time. I was actually 200 pounds, 215 pounds to be exact. I was 5'5", right? And I said, Mom, I want to lose weight with you. I hate avocados sometimes. It doesn't. See, I was going to do a trick for you. This one didn't come out right. I usually can pop that seed out. So I'll add some healthy fat. So I said that to say, I was 12 years old when I was overweight. I had my lifestyle change start when I was 13. By 14, I had lost 65 pounds. By 14. But I was young. And you know what else? My metabolism was young. Now, what I just told you, tell me something and put this in the comments box. Aren't habits harder to change as you get older? You just tell me personally, you don't even have to be old or older. Doesn't it get harder? So my goal for you is to learn how to eat this way and understand these nutrients. Okay, side note, this is fun. So I have a weakness for candied nuts, and I actually have a recipe at thatsaladlady.com for candied nuts. So I just use just a little bit for added sweetness. Now, sometimes I may add chicken to this, sometimes I may not. But no matter what, I always take my salad because this is easy and top them with chia seeds because it's easy. Chia seeds, they're easy. You think I care how many calories is in that? Say, give me a yes or a no if you think I care about how many calories is in that. Do you think I care? Say yes or no. Do you think I actually care about how many calories is in that? I don't care because every single thing in here has a nutritional purpose, even the shrimp, everything. Every bowl is an opportunity. an opportunity to build layers and layers of whole food nutrition and whole life wellness. I'm even gonna throw my cayenne pepper salad seasoning in there. Why? Because cayenne pepper has benefits as well. So when you think about what you're eating, as we age, starting now, when you think about what you're eating, before you even put it in your mouth, before you even get it from the grocery store, what is this doing for my body? Does it have color? Does it have a purpose? Sometimes it won't. Like that pasta I just put in my bowl. It's just good. And the calories are good, but it's just good. And sometimes I use this pasta, but I didn't want that today. I'm actually gonna eat that for lunch for my first meal of the day. I haven't eaten anything today. But sometimes I go for the spinach pasta, but sometimes I don't. But an important thing is to one, be mindful of your portions, learn your portions. These are the tips that will help you break those habits now so you won't have to break them later because those habits are difficult to change. Get to know your portions. Understand it. Even if you have to get containers like this is why I have these because I don't, I know if it fits in here, it's a certain amount. This is why I have it. I know a lot of this stuff, you're kind of eyeballing it. Learn how to eyeball because what I just did, put the camera back there. What I just did doesn't mean you have to build a salad like that at a restaurant. But let me tell you what you can do. You can find yourself at your salad bar at work. A lot of places, well, when you get back to work, a lot of places have salad bars. You can build a salad just like that because suddenly you're saying it's something red, it's something yellow, it's something orange. That's a habit that you can keep. Counting calories is not a habit that's sustainable. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not. I've worked with a lot of people. For 20 years, I've been in this field, and calorie counting has never proven effective over the long term, ever. People always usually learn something. They understand portions, they get to know eating habits, and then it gets better. But it's not counting calories because, again, we're focusing on the nutrients, not the calories. If you do that, you never have to count a calorie again. And I want you to understand that. It's also important to know that these nutrients are going to fuel you as you age. Malnutrition is very common as we age because we just eat less and then we start eating more of the wrong things, especially if you never change that habit. So I hope you understand what I mean. And I hope you're taking something from this in terms of successful aging. Portion control is key. Whole foods, count them. Count the whole foods, not the calories. Think about that color. Count the rainbow. And my final tip to you is to get out of the mindset of thinking that you have to count something, be on a diet, do something. Just eat. And that is my goal for you. And that is what will help you age successfully through weight management and overall good health. So I hope you got something from this show. Can you give me a fist bump if you got something from this show? Because that was my goal. I know it was fast. I wanted to get a lot in there, but I hope, if nothing else, put the camera on my salad again before I eat it. I hope that you got something from this and that you want to go build a bowl yourself. Visit thatsaladlady.com for plenty of salad-inspired recipes and healthy living tips to help you build your bowl and your life. And also be sure to follow me on social media right now. Follow me on social media. I guarantee you'll find something you love to eat. I get a lot of great feedback on these salads because they're easy to make and they're wholesome. Skin, stuff other than just weight loss and stuff. Beautiful skin, energy, that sort of thing. So definitely visit me using That Salad Lady at those social media outlets as well. And I will see you next week where we're going to really talk about something that we don't talk about enough. That's food addiction. We are going to cover food addiction. And I know I'm wrong. I'm going to say this right before Thanksgiving. But yes, we are going to cover food addiction next week. So I hope you join me. And a fist bump if you learned something. And remember to keep asking those questions because I will ask them offline. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you next week. Again, I'm Dr. Nina. Take care.